The Lionheart Vulcan 9, let's check it out. In 1989, the Korean military adopted the DP-51. It was made by Daewoo. It became the K5. It was a double single action 9mm pistol, and it's been their service sidearm for 25 years. These guns were imported into the U.S. as the LH-9 and became Lionheart in Renton, Washington. Then it was upgraded to the Regulus 9. And one of the huge features of that design is it's called Double Single Action Plus. So when the hammer's in the rear position, all you have to do is tap it and it goes back down, and it's a consistent single action. It actually precocks the hammer. We're going to look at some of the details and why that is such a cool design. But Rob Falkenheim, who actually owns Exotac, purchased Lionheart Industries, moved it to Winder, Georgia, and now is producing the Vulcan 9. There's a lot of cool upgrades to make this even more reliable, more robust. And guys, I've known Rob for a number of years, and honestly, he is a genius when it comes to design. And with the Vulcan 9, there are so many things about this handgun that really make this an excellent concealed carry option. Now, I want to give a big thank you to Rob at Lionheart Industries. I've been to their manufacturing facility. It is state-of-the-art. All the parts are made right there in-house in Winder, Georgia. And guys, while I'm really excited about the Vulcan 9, this is a T&E gun. We're going to be sending it back so other people can review it because the demand has been outstanding right from the get-go. But hopefully in the near future, I'm going to have one for myself because I will definitely be carrying this in my carry rotation. Well guys, the Lionheart Vulcan 9, it's been through a lot of changes, and obviously originally with the Daewoo DP-51 and also designated as the K5 with the Korean military, and then the LH-9 and again the Regulus. So while this is based on the original DP-51, there have been a lot of changes not only to the external but also internally. Rob inherited the original Regulus, and he did a lot of changes. There were some things about it that just weren't as reliable. And so he went through and honestly perfected a lot of the deficiencies. It's a 15+1. They use the Metgar magazines, and you do get 2 magazines with the gun. And then we'll check to make sure the gun's unloaded. Now we'll talk about the magazines at first. You do get 2. One of the magazines on certain models, and this is again the combat model, it has one of the Nano 2 tools in it. This is in the base plate. You can see you press this for it to come out. So it's in there really secure. Now your standard base plate is just flat, and then of course with the base plate with the Nano 2 little tool, right here is your retaining pin. And so you can just push it down just a touch, and then this will pull right out. And so again, you can use this for different things, and it does fit directly into the grips here. And then of course with your optics plate, and then you can use this to sight in with the windage and elevation. Now to reinstall, all you have to do is just place it in here and just snap it back into place, and then it'll hold it. So this is just unobtrusive, it's out of the way, it's just perfect, and you'd never know it was even there. And again, this is aluminum, and then you have the steel tool. Magazines have a nice finish to them. Metgar makes a lot of mags for a lot of different companies. Now it does have a little bit of a bevel on the mag well. Fits in really nice, and with this back part where the mainspring comes, it just has a really nice no snag kind of look to it. This end has been beveled, so this just makes it just a little bit easier to conceal. And this is an aluminum alloy frame with a steel slide. Now the hammer is in the rear position, and again, this is a double single action pistol. And of course we just racked it. But one of the things about this, with the hammer in the rear position, you can just take it and you can just push it, and it goes back against the slide, just like it would be in double action. But it's actually pre-cocked. So as I pull the trigger, it just pops right back. It's almost like a two-stage trigger. There's very little resistance. It comes all the way to the back. Then you can see the hammer backing up. We got a little take up. Really nice break. Now in standard single action mode, it would be the same thing here. It would just be the hammer's in the rear position. Now, if you want second strike capability, so let's say you hit a dud round, you can pull it, but it is in standard double action, so it's long and heavy, and then you bring it in. So this is a very unique system, and one that really allows you to be very consistent from the beginning to the end. Just like with the PX4 Storm, which this has been safety checked, the first pull of the trigger is a long, heavy trigger pull. Subsequent shots, the hammer will be in the rear position. So now you're getting that really quick single action. So that first pull is long, then after that it's a very short, crisp trigger pull. It's not consistent, but a lot of people, have gotten used to that. That's the way double single actions work. But that's one of the things that's really cool about this kind of system, is that you can be consistent with every shot, just like you can with a striker fire pistol. Now it also has a frame safety. This is not a decocker. So if we bring the hammer back, we can just engage our safety, and we can actually carry it cocked and locked. But you can still drop the hammer. So you can carry this with the safety engaged, the hammer in the rear position, drop the hammer, and now you have the double action plus ready to go. The trigger is a flat face trigger. They call it the J hook. So it's flat, but then it has a little hook. It just gives you a little bit more to be able to grip hold of, to hold on to. But it still gives you the geometry of a standard flat face trigger. Now another big thing that's very different about this handgun is the accelerator rapid engagement grip. They call it the REG. This is G10. They make them in-house, and they're very well machined. I mean, beautifully machined. In fact, when you first get this, you think it's almost aluminum. It's so crisp. But then you can see the lines in it. It's a very beautiful grip. Here you'll see the shelf, and this just gives you a definite place to rest your thumb. It's not a tiny nub, and yet this fits against your body for concealed carry, and so it doesn't print. But this is really an ingenious way to bring this up. Now, if you're a left-handed shooter, they make a left-handed option, and you can replace it with the REG thumb rest. It does have a memory pad right here on the other side, and there is texturing right here. So this is a very unique system, but it really allows you to grip hold of that and get a solid grip on this handgun, plus all the texturing. There is texturing in the back strap and on the front strap. Now this one has been Cerakoted, and they do a number of different colors. I know they do FDE and some others, and they also do a black nitride. Again, this is the combat model, which just denotes that it has a threaded barrel, and the barrel is 4.38 inches in length. On the standard model, it's 3.7 inches. And these barrels are also made in-house, which is really unique. This is a true Axis precision barrel. It is a very precisely made, very consistent barrel system. It's chrome moly steel, 416R stainless, and it holds its tolerances really well, and it gives it a long-lasting accuracy. It is DLC coated in black. Now this is optics ready. Direct mount fit, goes with your Holosun 407K, 507K, Shield RMSC, Trijicon RMR CC, and again with these sights it will co-witness. And your cover plates here, and it comes with the different hardware, whether it's the Trijicon or the Holosun kits, and so you've got the option to go ahead and mount that, and a couple of spent brass from the factory. So this is going to be really nice to be able to attach that direct mount. That means there's no adapter plates, it doesn't get it higher up, it fits directly to the slide. And then you have the sights that actually are made in-house by Lionheart Industries, and that's very unusual. A lot of times they'll use aftermarket sights. This has a cocking shelf. It is suppressor height. It is a black outline, and it has a fiber optic front sight that is dovetailed in. These are SIG P365 sights. So you're going to have a lot of options if you want to change these out. Have a 3-slot Picatinny rail, flat on the front, but you have an ample trigger guard to be able to get even gloved hands in. Mag release fits right here behind the trigger guard. Easy to get to, but it doesn't stick out too much to interfere or to just allow that magazine to drop out. And it just shoots those magazines free. The frame safety is also ambidextrous, and it is on the other side. Here we have our slide stop and takedown lever, and we'll show you that when we get ready to disassemble. Have front and rear cocking serrations. They are directional, and it also goes up here to the top of the slide. Makes it really easy for press checks. Has a good solid grip to the slide. It does have a fairly strong recoil spring, but that just adds to reliability, which when we took it to the range, this thing ran flawlessly. The one thing about this though is so funny is that this hammer, I mean, it just really is unique. But I love this system. Now the grip module actually is attached here and here, but it fits into the frame on the front. With this part coming out, you can see how it molds into the inside of the frame. And so that way it's not going to come loose, it's not going to be weak up in this area. And that was one of the design features that Lionheart put into this. Now there are some plans to offer different grips in the near future, and this is just going to give you a number of options. But I really like this system, and that little shelf really allows for you to rest your hand and find a place for that thumb. The hammer is skeletonized, and it does have serrations all along the top, so you can pull that down, even pushing it forward. You have those serrations so it doesn't slip. Mag release is reversible to the other side as well. Again, you've got your ambidextrous safeties. Slide stop is only on one side. And now we're going to take a look at the trigger action, but we're going to start out with full double action. So as we pull the trigger, it is heavy, but it's really smooth. And then it gets a little bit of resistance up close, and then you have your brake. Now when we go into double action plus, we're going to go ahead and drop our hammer, and then it's already pre-cocked, so it just pops over, and now you come up to a wall. Once you hit that wall, a really nice brake. Reset right there. Pretty quick reset. And that's the same as single action. Now really the way the Vulcan 9 is set up, you're not going to be shooting at double action, but we're going to go ahead and test the double action trigger pull. 8 pounds, 11.3 ounces. And that's typical for your double action. Now let's test the double action plus. Come to a stop. 4 pounds, 11 ounces. 4 pounds, 15 ounces. So under 5 pounds. Just single action. 4 pounds, 13.3 ounces. So double action plus and single action are the same. Now we did an original review on the Regulus 9. Actually a good friend of mine let me borrow it. We took it out to the range. I mean, it was just a great handgun. There were some issues with the Regulus that had to be corrected. So one of the things that John did immediately was to get those issues taken care of. And really, I was impressed with the Regulus. There's definitely a lot of upgrades with the Vulcan 9, and the Regulus has been discontinued. But they are still servicing Regulus pistols. They do have parts. So if you have a Regulus pistol and you need any work, Lionheart Industries, again, can take care of it. The Glock 19 is probably the benchmark for a lot of the concealable or more compact size firearms. Here with the Lionheart, really they are pretty much the same in length. The width on the Lionheart is a little bit smaller. I think it's like 0.96 inches while the Glock is 1 inch. But pretty much even the grip length from the slide, the Vulcan 9 is actually a little shorter than the Glock. But with this light beaver tail, it just gives it a little more length. But pretty much the same size profile. But that makes the Vulcan 9 an excellent concealed carry option. And of course, with that double action plus, it gives you a really consistent trigger, just like your Glock. But for some people that are not comfortable with only a trigger safety, this just gives you some extra safeties. And it is a metal frame, which seems to be what a lot of people are now going back to. Obviously, polymer striker fire pistols were the rage for a long time, but we're seeing a shift. Not altogether, but a lot of people are wanting to get back to those metal frames. Now, of course, with the threaded barrel, we wanted to test it out with a suppressor, and so we brought out one of the Banish 45 suppressors from Silencer Central, and of course, you know, it just ran like a top. We were using standard velocity ammunition, but we had no issues whatsoever, and we really appreciate Silencer Central for sending the Banish 45. It gives us a lot of chances to be able to test out the suppressor. Now, one thing about the magazines, and I didn't test it, but it's purported that they use the pattern for the Model 59 Smith & Wesson magazines, and that would be the 59 and the 659, and also the 5906. So I think they hang down just a little bit, but we haven't tested them. That may be coming up in an upcoming video. But it's even listed on the Lionheart website that they will fit, but it doesn't guarantee reliability. And there are holster options on the Lionheart website, so you can get a holster right away. And then there are holsters out there made for the original Regulus, so it's not a far stretch to get different type holsters, but I'm sure more will come. Now, the weight on the Vulcan 9, 28.68 ounces. Weight on the Glock 19, 24.01 ounces. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammo, all made in the USA, one of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. Also, we really appreciate our little loaders for saving our thumbs. Guys, I've been very excited about the Lionheart Vulcan 9. They've really put a lot of upgrades and effort into this handgun, and man, it is absolutely beautiful. So very excited. Guys, this is one I've been following for a good while. The Lionheart Vulcan 9, designed from the ground up over the original Lionheart, which the Lionheart was inspired by the Korean military service pistol. But Rob down at Lionheart really has taken a long time to just reconfigure, make this much more user-friendly. A lot of the internals redone, 15+1 in the magazine. But the beautiful thing about the Lionheart, and one of its kind of signatures, is the hammer. And you can just take it, push it forward, and now you're ready to fire. It gives you a single action shooting with the hammer in the down position. When you pull the trigger, it comes back, ready to fire, just like single action. Now we have it finished, we can just put our safety on, and if we want to leave it back, instead of cocked and locked, we just push it and now it's in the down position. Very safe way to carry it. This one is the threaded barrel version, but they do come with just the standard threads. Beautiful handgun. There's a lot of detail to this, and I love this little shelf on the side of the frame. Guys, I'll tell you, they're made down in Winder, Georgia, and Rob's doing a great job with these. Again, I've been very excited about it. It's great to see these come to market. For disassembly, we're going to drop our magazine, check the chamber, gun's empty, point the gun in a safe direction, pull the trigger. Right here on the slide are some arrows, and you just want to bring that back to the back of your slide stop, right about there. Then here on the other side, just push your slide stop through, and then you can pull your slide stop right out. Next, just bring the slide off the frame. Here we have our recoil spring and guide rod. And we have our barrel, and we're going to need to take off our thread protector on the combat model. Then we can pull our barrel right through. I'm going to tell you guys, this is a beautiful barrel. And this is one, again, that they make right there in-house at Lionheart in Winder, Georgia. We have a nice feed ramp. The finish on here is beautiful. It does have an O-ring around the at the end of the threads. Just helps to keep your thread protector on. Recoil spring and guide rod, very well done, captive. Here the inside of the slide, and of course we've been shooting this one. It's mainly dirty. There's very little wear in here. And then we have the frame, which we have those slide rails that are a little bit extended. Gives you a little better slide to frame fit than a lot of the polymer frame little short rails. which are effective, but this just gives you a little more surface. But really looking from here, it's very simple. You have your trigger mechanism that goes down with that double action plus trigger. I just can't get over that. That's so cool. But very easy to disassemble. For reassembly, just drop in your barrel. We're going to go ahead and put our thread protector on. Guide rod and spring there, and now we're going to bring it back across and just line up those little notches, and then you can drop in your slide stop. Goes right in. Fairly simple. Go ahead and test for function, and we're back in business. Guys, keeping your concealed carry or your home defense firearms clean is vital. And one of the best companies out there is Otis Technologies. They make some of the best cleaning kits on the market. They're also the inventor of the bore snake or the ripcord, and they furnish all the cleaning supplies for the U.S. military. This is one of their tactical cleaning kits. Just a great little kit. But we really appreciate Otis for sponsoring the channel. And guys, they just make great cleaning supplies. Well, the Vulcan 9 comes in a really nice case. Has double handles, double YKK zippers. Here we have the pistol. It is padded. We have, of course, our lock, and we have a couple of sleeves. Of course, all the different owner's manual, spent cases, optics hardware in here. I mean, it's got everything. We have some oil. Also, this is pretty cool. We have a small little cleaning kit. And here we have all the cleaning rods and everything we need to keep the handgun in top shape. That is a really cool feature, and it fits all in this small little tube, and you can just put it in this little side pouch. But this is very well padded, and it's going to keep your handgun in top shape, and you can actually put the gun in this part of the bag. All right, guys, the manufacturer suggested retail starts at $15.99. And then it moves up. I believe the combat model, which is one of their top models, is $18.99. This is definitely a premium handgun. A lot of the features you're not going to find anywhere else. And honestly, a lot of the quality. As far as pros and cons, first off, I love the double action plus. I mean, that is just one of the coolest features about this handgun. And just being able to drop that hammer and then get that consistent trigger pull all throughout, and it's still a double action, single action pistol, aluminum frame, so it has that metal feel to it, plus the grip is just really cool with the thumb rest here. But again, there's going to be some more options coming. Now, it does have the 15-round mags. There are plans, in fact, it's in the owner's manual, for 18-round magazines. But once this was launched, they have had tons of pre-orders, and they've met those, and they're just really getting a lot of different guns cranked out. So there's a lot going on at Lionheart, and I think we're going to see more and more coming. Everything being made in-house. That way they can control all the quality control. Again, they're right there in Winder, Georgia, and we're going to be doing a video coming up at the facility because we want to show you a lot of the processes, because it's pretty impressive. I mean, while even the sights are made right there in-house, that speaks a lot about what goes into these handguns. It's really thin, and again, you can get a lot of accessories, and you have direct mount optic option, which is really big. I mean, really, as far as any cons, you may just like striker fire pistols, but if you're looking for a double single action pistol, to me, this is one to really take a look at. Of course, the price, it's not cheap, but really for a good double single action that is of this quality, that's really in that right price range. So guys, you're looking for a double single action, maybe you're just tired of polymer frame striker fire pistols. This gives us really the best of both worlds. It gives you that double action plus, which gives you a very consistent trigger pull. It's got that compact size, but yet it shoots like a full-size gun, being optics ready. Of course, you can get the threaded barrel version. There's a lot of options already available and a lot more coming. So a big thank you to Rob down at Lionheart Industries for sending the Vulcan 9 for this review. This really makes an excellent concealed carry or home defense firearm. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. They are an official sponsor. Okay. U.S. military, as this thing goes flying all over the place. What the crap? REG style thumb safety. Okay. Little button here. This is a retaining button, so you just press it and it comes right out.